Paul Giamatti's Oscar-nominated The Holdovers features a lot of surprising similarities with his weirdest movie yet. Giamatti has played a number of different characters over the course of his career, highlighting an impressive range in supporting and central roles alike. Some of his best performances have been highly acclaimed, earning him nominations for Academy Awards as well as several Emmys and Golden Globes. The nuance he brings to his The Holdovers character is impressive, but he's just as effective when using his considerable talents for comedy, as in Private Parts or Sideways. Paul Giamatti's Oscar-nominated The Holdovers features a lot of surprising similarities with his weirdest movies. Paul Giamatti movies have seen him play several different characters throughout his career, highlighting an impressive range of supporting and central roles alike. Only one of his movies has seen him get completely painted blue, but that movie's surprising similarities with one of his most critically acclaimed roles ever underscores just how effective the actor is. Paul Giamatti works as a mentor and a villain to rebellious teens. Giamatti works great against younger characters in comedies and dramas alike. Paul Giamatti looking gloomy as Paul Hunham in The Holdovers. Paul Giamatti plays with surprisingly similar themes in Big Fat Liar and The Holdovers, albeit with two very different central genres. In both films, Giamatti is positioned against a rebellious teenager. In Big Fat Liar, it's Frankie Muniz Jason Shepard, while in The Holdovers it's Dominic Sessa's Angus Tully. Both movies play off Giamatti's natural and often sudden bombast, especially when compared to a more sardonic and sarcastic young person. The Holdovers and Big Fat Liar have very different tones, but are largely focused on the results of pairing a Giamatti character with a teenager. Both films highlight how the young person is on the path to becoming more like Giamatti's character. Jason's big lies are compared directly to the fraud constantly perpetrated by Giamatti's Marty Wolf. Meanwhile, the bitter worldview that Angus holds on to is comparable to the quietly seething bitterness at the heart of Giamatti's Paul Hunham. Notably, both films take different approaches to this dynamic. In Big Fat Liar, Jason ultimately learns to tell the truth, implicitly diverging from the same kind of path that led Wolf to become so sleazy. By contrast, The Holdovers highlights the unexpected connection and empathy that developed between the two. Big Fat Liar and The Holdovers focus on theft of ideas. How two very different Giamatti characters deal with plagiarism. Marty Wolf in Big Fat Liar. Both Big Fat Liar and The Holdovers introduce themes of pride in writing and questions of plagiarism. Giamatti's character is accused of it in both films, although he only openly committed it in one of them. Those elements are front and center with Big Fat Liar, which largely focuses on Jason's efforts to force Wolf to acknowledge his theft of Jason's story. This focus on plagiarism is central to Big Fat Liar, and plays into a major thematic element of The Holdovers. Part of the backstory behind Hunham's fall from grace involves his expulsion from Harvard. This turns out to be related to his assault of another student, who had falsely accused him of plagiarizing a paper. Plagiarism factors into both films in interesting ways, directly influencing Giamatti's character and the way they interact with others. In an unlikely parallel between the two films, Hunham lashes out at someone who plagiarized him, much in the same way he played the target of a similar character in Big Fat Liar.